deal. I think I'm sick again. I don't know if that's possible, but I feel like I'm sick again. So it's basically once a month since December. I don't fucking know anymore. What's up, Buck? Nah, it's just you. When'd you come in? You came in early. I don't even know if you're still in here. Rank their resume. Okay. What's up, CT? Paris Elvis. That's a cool name. What's up? C. Berlanga Blue. Wait, I did not. What happened? What happened? He didn't make weight? So what happens? Does that mean he's not fighting, or they're going to fine him? They're going to cancel the fight? What's happening? When you rewatched your fight with Crawford, what could you have done differently and possibly finished out, considering you're ahead on the scorecards? Look, I'm going to ask Shawn some questions. If you guys, the super chat questions, I'll definitely ask as long as they're not obviously disrespectful. The normal questions, I'll try. We'll see. He blew weights. It's a nobody. What do you weigh? Let's see. Berlanga. Weight. What's he weigh? 193. Oh, no. Well, what's his weight? I mean, based on this, his official weight is 169 and a half. Okay. So he blew it by a pound and a half. I mean, pound and a half. Yeah. A pound, and it was 169.5, I believe. I mean, shit. It's only a pound and a half. Look at Ryan. Ryan, 3 pounds off. Not the biggest deal. Armando, what up? Salute from Puerto Rico. Mark, shout out to my man Shawn Porter, the best welterweight of this era. He fought them all. Yep. Shawn's possibly one of the greatest, not possibly, one of the greatest pressure fighters in the history of the pugilistic sciences. That's a fact. That is a fact. I ain't lying. Shawn is one of the greatest pressure fighters in the history of pugilistic sports. I don't know if pugilistic's a word. Pugilism? Pugilistic. Yes, it is a word. Okay. Good. Gotta know what the fuck I'm talking about, right? Pugilistic is a word. Sugar Shawn Porter. Nice Showtime Shawn Porter. Nice sugar. So, bad news. The interview with David Benavidez has been pushed to next week. His manager just informed me. So there will be no David Benavidez interview today. Matter of fact, let me push it. Let me push it to next week. I guess I'll do next week. I don't know if it is exactly next week, what day it is, but we're going to find out. We're going to find out when she lets me know, because as of now, I don't know. But we'll see. 2 hours. Salute from Puerto Rico. I caught the Iran Tony video. Told you Facebook good to you. Facebook doesn't pay me jack shit. I don't get that many views on Facebook, but I'm glad you caught it. Yeah, Iran versus Tony was just a vicious, merciless ass whooping. You know, Barkley was a little, not a little. He was past his sell by date, but you know, that was prime Tony. I always wonder what would have happened if James stood at like 75, 68, 75. He just stood there. But maybe he used some of his speed advantage and his size advantage at being a smaller guy in the higher weights. That was because he was so hard to hit as a heavyweight or as a cruiserweight. So that was maybe to his advantage. He was so much harder to hit because he was so much faster, naturally faster than these guys. You know, he didn't hit as hard at that weight, but Shawn, I do see you. I just don't see your camera on, so I don't know if you're ready to go. So I guess pop the camera on when you're ready to go, if you can hear me. And I'll give him a minute or two. Maybe he's just waiting for me to put him on. I'm not sure. Or maybe he's just doing audio. I don't know. Peppering like a seed. Yeah, man, he peppered him like he peppered him like a Michelin star Caesar salad. He did. Yeah, man. He was on it. Oh, he chatted me. I'm almost home, bro. My bad. Oh, okay. He just said he's almost home. No worries. Turn on your camera when ready. Oh yeah, so he just messaged me. Said he'll be on in a second. All right. What it do? True. Salute from H-Town. I had fun in Houston. Only been there once, but yeah, this is Alberto's worst nightmare. He's not in here though, so you know, man. So like I said, you guys want to ask some questions? Pop in the super chat. I'm live. I'm live, but I didn't add you yet. No rush. Join when ready. Yes. Yes, the show is live, but yes, the show is live, but it's just me for now. Anyway, I didn't even know how to do these private chats. He's smart. I changed my name, Unk. What you mean? Well, why'd you put S Durant there, Eon? It's fucking weird. When the other dude did that too, Superman. We'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna ask some questions. You guys could pop some questions in. Obviously, super chats I'll ask. He can't do live. Why can't he do live? Huh? I didn't know that. Oh, so what? So you can only he can't do lives because of his contracts. He's saying now, so you can only do recorded stuff. Well, maybe I'll have to jump off and I'll do it with him on Zoom. We'll see. Oh, now he's saying he can't do lives because of contracts. Because I guess he's with companies. I'm confused. What about Broner? Hmm. Oh, we'll see. Might not happen now. It's all good though. We'll still rock out, just us. Salute. What's up? I guess. So then I would have to jump off and do it on Zoom and then just upload it, I suppose. That's interesting. They don't let them do lives, but they let them do recorded ones? Hmm. I mean, then I'll do a Zoom. What he saw from Thurman. I'll ask him. Hell no, don't mess up the content. What you mean? Let me see something. He didn't. Yeah, he lost to Thurman, but most people think the Thurman fight was close. I'm just playing. Oh, he's just playing. Real funny, Shawn. Yeah, he was just playing. That's a weird joke, though. He said he was just kidding. He could do lives. I'm like, I never heard of that before. See? So he's a comedian. He's a pressure fighter and a stand-up. All right. I guess so. He had me going. I was like, wait, what? I'm just playing. That's such a weird joke. Funny, though. I was like, damn, he signed his. I know, right? See? He's a pressure fighter and he's a stand-up comic. Rocky, what up? King of New York. I mean, now I'm the king of Connecticut. Nah, fuck that. I'm never going to be the king of Connecticut. Ask crinkle or curly fries from Arby's. I'm definitely not doing that. Get it, Marco? We going to be here, bro. Y'all hit those likes. Word. I think he don't do it correctly because I never tell when he's serious. Okay. I feel you. I feel you. Been listening for about a month or so. But new to the channel. Salute to you. Keep the good work. Thank you, sir. Be humble. Yeah, being humble is important. So you born in 77? My age? Or that's just the number you like? He is on standby. I guess he's driving home or some shit. You're the king of Connecticut. Yeah, there you go. I'm the, what would I be? The prince? Not even. The visitor? What the fuck would I be? I think I'm sick again, which is fucking wild. I mean, makes sense because my daughter has something. Would you sign a contract to be exclusively on Shawn's pod? Yeah. I mean, if the money's right. Ow. If the money's right, sure. The Jester? Well, I guess. The Fresh Prince of New Jersey. I ain't from the goddamn New Jersey. What are you talking about? You trying to insult me? Jersey. No damn Jersey. Fruity. That's Jersey. Yo, daddy. What up? What up, daddy? What the deal? What the deal? Yeah, so David Benavidez unfortunately canceled, or I should say his manager canceled. Good. Just one of my favorite numbers, 31 here, but have done a lot of sports, including college soccer, and really enjoy watching and learning about boxing. I bet. 31, man. You're in the apex of life. Good for you. Sipping coffee. David Benavidez, I was supposed to interview him at 4 today, but they pushed it to next week. So what are you going to do? Why? I don't know. Duke of Hell's Kitchen. The Duke? Okay. I'll take that. Benavidez is scared or Bivol. Okay. Yeah. Coffee? What am I supposed to say? Coffee? Am I supposed to say coffee? It's coffee. One second, guys. Ugh, my bad. All right, we back up there, Sean. Let's get Mr. Porter in. There he is.
My apologies, man.
You had me going. I'm like, so he's a pressure fighter and he's a comedian. You got me.
No, no, no. I just wanted to make you feel like your shit was gonna be fucked up today. That's all.
How you doing? You're muted. Oh,
I'm doing good, my man. How you doing?
you know, not bad, not bad. You know, so
Yeah, I just got home from Australia yesterday, so I was like, all
I
right, I can't be with you yesterday, but I could get you today.
I appreciate you, man.
Yeah,
I
man.
appreciate the time. How was Australia? You been there before?
Yeah, this is man. I started going to Australia in 2023, and so this was probably my fifth or sixth trip to Australia in the last 2 years,
And
and I'm going back in 3 weeks.
what kind of plane ride? How much time are
Temp,
you looking
total is 16 and a half, 17 going, and then like 16 and a half coming back.
Yeah, that I'm not into that. Does it bother you at all?
Not even a little bit. I
No?
go to sleep, I wake up, it's 4 hours left. I go to sleep, I wake up, it's 2.5 hours left. You know what I mean? Like I manage it like really well, and I love to do the only thing that you can do on planes, which is watch movies. So and eat. So you know what I mean? So for me, man, it's just a win.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you were covering obviously Thurman's fight.
Yeah. The kid did the thing.
He did. So what'd you think of Thurman's performance?
I thought it looked how it was supposed to look, you know. I don't think his opponent was necessarily an easy touch, but obviously there were obvious things that make him an easy touch. You know, the fact that he's inexperienced, the fact that he's extremely young, the fact that he was a smaller boxer moving up quite a few weight classes in the last couple of years. But all that being said, when you got a guy who's been out of the ring 3 years and has only been in the ring twice in five, this is the kind of fight he needs. He needs to be able to make some legitimate money, which I'm sure he did, and more importantly, he needs to look the way that he looked.
Mm. Do you think he can still be a force to not a force to reckon with, a champion at 54?
I do, I
Mm.
do. You know, I I really don't. I don't know all of Keith's. I don't know his entire life, his entire lifestyle, but I know that the new purpose, having a family, and I think having the experience of not fighting for 5 years and feeling how close he had come to not being able to support his family, that's enough to bring the hunger.
Wow.
The fact of the matter is, what he says is true. The fact that he hasn't been in any wars, he hasn't been beat up or anything like that in over 5 years. He is a healthy body. The thing that you just have to be conscious of is the fact that a majority of this 5 years with a new family, you've probably been sitting down more than you've been up moving. So I'm hoping to be able to talk to him in the next week, and I'm going to tell him whatever you did to get where you're at, keep going, because you're going to get back to where you were quicker than you're going to get to where you want to go. So
Mm.
that would be my advice to Keith, and I'm anticipating talking to him in a couple of days. If he keeps himself going, keeps that fire light lit, he can be a force in another year. He'll be a force at 154.
So when you watch him fight, are there any flashbacks? Like I would have any flashbacks of your fight with him when you watch him or not?
When I watched his fight, I was like, the first round he was a little more flat-footed than I expected, and then the next round he gets going in the second round. I said, okay, this is more the Keith that I know, and I'm like smiling because I'm like, I know this movement, I know this rhythm all too well. You know what I mean? And we got a vintage classic Keith on fight night. The wild uppercuts from the outside, just the random overhand rights. You know what I mean? He wasn't afraid to be himself, and
Mm-hmm.
those are all good signs moving forward.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, Keith is, what is he, 36, 35?
35. He'll be 36 this year.
How old are you?
I'm 37.
Damn.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna jump into it because we're talking about the age. Are
No,
there
he's 36.
any? Huh?
36. He's 36.
36 or 37.
Yeah, and
Are
I'm not coming back. No,
are
not.
there? I know you're not, but are there ever any like urges you got to like chill? Are there any real urges for it, even though you're not going to do it?
So like when I first retired, I would be at fights and the fighters are walking out. Big thing for me has always been watching the fight, and if a fighter's not doing what he should do or could do, I'm like, ugh. And I'm like, cool out. You're not doing it anymore, so stop having those thoughts. you know. But those thoughts are pretty much gone now. I
Yeah.
think my doing this as much as I do it, I think that kind of has been my way of getting out that energy. Whether it be frustration or the pleasantry of seeing somebody do what you want, what they should do, whatever the case may be.
I mean, you do a great job.
Thank you.
We need more people like you. Former fighters. Well articulated and all that.
Yeah.
I want to be like you, man. If there's any openings, let them know the kid's ready.
Yeah.
You're muted. You're muted. There
I
you go.
randomly muted myself, but I've never had any apprehensions on giving somebody a job, getting someone a job, making references and all those sorts of things. So it's just if there's an opportunity and when there's an opportunity, I got you, boss.
I appreciate you, man, because I'll do all the stuff. I'll do the shorts, whatever they need.
Yeah.
So what were your? And I know you've probably been asked all this shit 1,000 times, but forgive me. What were your thoughts? Okay, first off, who do you think won on the scorecards? Tank versus Roach.
I didn't score the fight. To the naked eye, it looked like Tank. Like to one naked eye, it looked like Tank, and to one other naked eye, it looked like Lamont. I don't know. I agree with the draw because I felt like I tried to explain this on my podcast. Come into the ring, and this is, I don't care who you can, we can have this debate all day and all night. Everybody thinks that they know that Tank is gonna give up the first 3 rounds. So coming to the TV, everybody watching, we're not expecting Tank to get started until the 4th round. I thought Tank won 2, if not the first 3 rounds. I think he won 2 of the first 3 rounds. But psychologically, everybody's turned off. Oh, Tank doesn't get going until the 4th round. Y'all was never gonna give him them rounds, even though I thought he won those rounds. Go back and watch those rounds now. Go back and watch those rounds. Watch him from a standpoint of who's more aggressive. Watch him from a standpoint of who's throwing more punches and who's landing those punches. I thought Tank won 2 of the first 3 rounds. And then as the fight carried on, here's another thing. Psychologically, any round that Tank doesn't turn it on and land that big punch, he didn't win that round. Every round that Tank doesn't turn it on and land that big punch, he didn't win that round. Then there's the round where he takes the knee.
Yeah.
And come to find out, it is actually possible to call a timeout in boxing. The way he did it is incorrect. What you're supposed to do is put one glove in the air and take a knee. That signals to the referee that there's a problem. That does not signal to the referee to come in and count. But for him to just take a knee, that was incorrect, and he was supposed to be counted. And I said this too. What about the integrity? Where did these judges? If you know the rules and you saw this guy take a knee and you saw the ref start counting and stop, where's your integrity to trump our reason and not score that at 10-8 round?
Didn't the ref signal no knockdown after he started counting when he stopped?
I didn't see the signal.
I think he did. I think because he stopped, and because I think they have to, by the New York State Athletic Commission rules, go with what the ref calls it. I think they can't. I don't
give a damn.
No, I'm with you.
Yeah, no. I don't care. That's incorrect. When you know rules and a referee, people have to understand this. We're all human. And that's a damn good referee. But he had a moment.
Well, isn't
And
it?
referees and judges have moments when you're a judge sitting ringside and you see that a referee is having a moment. You have to be able to take your own position as a judge, and judge that moment, that round, whatever the case may be.
And that's the problem with boxing. I've been saying this forever. There's no real concrete rules. There's not, it goes by each state. There's the ABC, Association of Boxing Commissions, that are all guidelines. Those are suggested rules. It's like the Wild West. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
But as a fighter, isn't it clearly universal bat signal of an 8 count when you take a knee like that?
absolutely, absolutely. Which is why I just clarified. You can call it timeout. You put your fist in the air and you take a knee. That signals to the referee that there's something wrong. That does not signal to the referee, come in and give me
Right.
an account. You
And
know,
what about what we, I fought too. What about clinching and be like, yo, my eyes, just start talking to him.
he's the kid has become spoiled by the game. He's
Okay.
become spoiled by everything being done the way that he wants it done, when he wants it done, which is probably why we got a message, a post on Twitter X, what, 2 months before the fight's off, F it or something like that.
Yep. Yep.
More than likely, he wasn't getting something that he wanted at that point in time, and that was his response to
Mm.
alert everybody that something's wrong. The fight was never going to be off.
Here's what I saw, and tell me if you agree. I saw somebody that was in his head, right? Because we all know boxing is like 80%, 90% mental, right? I feel like he was in his head. I feel like the punches that grazed him didn't hurt his eye. And maybe, I don't have hair at all, so I don't know what it's like if product gets in it. But maybe there was something bothering his eye slightly and he freaked out. And that's what it looked like to me. Because
It's 100% possible for the hair stuff to go into your eyes, especially on fight night. You got your sweat, you got water going on your head, all that kind of stuff. Two things. Number one, when I got my hair done before a fight, I turn around, I tell the girl, "Hey, don't put anything in my hair, just do it." Because guess what? It's fight number one is fight night, and it's more important that I fight good than I look good. But the other thing too is you don't need all them chemicals to make your hair look good.
right,
Not for 24 hours or 48 hours.
right, right.
When I'm going overseas to do the work that I do, put everything in it that I need, because I'm there for a week and I'm not gonna be able to get it done again. But that's idiocracy on his behalf
Right.
to not turn around and say, "Hey, don't put nothing in my hair because I'm fighting in 2 days.
Right.
Or I'm fighting in one day."
Somebody who's had 30 fights already should know
But
that, right?
the other thing too is you're spoiled, dude. Why do you need a towel? Everybody does this. Everybody in boxing does this. Not once did we see him do this. Because in his mind, I'm supposed to be catered to. In them days, this fight more than anything should let him know that those days are over. Get back to being a fighter. Get back to having that dog mentality. I hope that happens. I've heard people say, "Oh yeah, this is gonna wake him up." I really don't think it's gonna wake him up.
Do you think he's transitioned? He's at the stage where I believe Wilder is at, where I think that they might just be done. Not that skill-wise, mentally, they don't.
I don't think so. He's different from Wilder.
Okay.
I think he's different from Wilder. I think that this is a burning desire that he's had for a long time. I think he is actually just trying to connect the dots of real life with being a professional athlete. And real life is everything that happens after the gym, everything that happens before the gym, everything that happens after fight night, everything that happens before fight night. He's got 2 kids now. He's got a life that he's trying to manage. And I don't know. I think that he feels himself becoming a different person, and he realizes that's pulling him away from being who he needs to be in the ring.
Well, do you think, and you're right, do you think, he mentioned therapy, right? And I agree. I feel like, this is my opinion, I feel like as a fighter, you need a fire. It has to be there. This is a sport, fight or flight. You're always in fight. Your adrenaline's pumping. That you need something to fuel that as a fighter, at least in my experience. And he said, well, look, I'm starting to see now when you get into your 30s, you know what it's like. I'm sure you went through that. You start looking at things different. You're not young. You're not hot-headed anymore. he's scared to go into therapy and deal with his shit because he feels like that'll extinguish the fire. You know, you agree with that?
100%. I talked to Coach Larry Wade, and I told him, I said, man, I've been wanting to do therapy with my dad forever.
Mm-hmm.
And Wade said, be careful with that. I said, why? He says, not what y'all have isn't broke. It doesn't need to be fixed. It just needs to be polished. It can be better. He said, what you don't want is for somebody to come in trying to fix things that don't need to be fixed. And all of a sudden things start to really fall apart because y'all have both become awoken to certain things that work for y'all. And I was like, that's right.
This was while you were active?
Leave this how it is.
This was when you were active still or after you were retired?
Oh, yeah. No. This is when I was active.
Okay, yeah. Makes sense. Yeah.
When I was active. And he was right. You know, you want whatever fire you have, whatever fire, whatever it was that lit that fire, you, like I said, now it's about managing the fire. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And when I started having my family, I don't think it was necessarily hard for me to manage it because I knew my direction and I knew what I wanted to do. When you can see the finish line, the race is much easier. But when you're in the middle of the race and you don't see the finish line, it's so much harder to manage energy. It's so much harder to manage emotion and all those sorts of things. And it seems to me he's in the middle of the race, and because he can't see the end, he's trying to figure out, like, create that end and, how soon can I get there and all these other things. I believe him when he says that he might be done next year. I actually do believe him.
Mm-hmm.
But if he were to continue, I would hope people wouldn't say, oh, he was just bluffing. No, he's not. He's not bluffing. I get it 100%. We live a life as fighters it's just a little bit different than it is for every other sport.
Mm-hmm.
Every other sport has a season.
Yeah, no, I believe he's done too, but I do believe, he retires now at 30, 31. He takes 2-3 years off. It's very likely he might want to come back. You never know, right?
Say again?
I said, even if he does retire next year, he'll be 31 or whatever, and take 2-3 years off. He's still 35. It's likely he might come back.
We got an early retirement from Floyd, once upon a time ago. What was he out of the ring for, a year or something like that?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he fought till he was almost 40, right? Or 40, I believe. Yeah.
Nobody, I think that was an abrupt retirement for Floyd, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that might have been a little bit of strategic, like, let me take it away so they want more. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But I don't know if Tank's doing that specifically.
I'm having some issues over here.
What's going on? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah. All right. I'm back.
Yeah. Okay. Now I'm hearing it. Wait, yeah, I hear you. I think I'm hearing feedback.
Why?
My voice. Yeah, my voice is feedbacking a little bit now.
Okay. Here, let me turn it down on my end. Probably picking it up. Is that better?
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, I think it's my microphone's picking up your voice.
It's all good. It's all good. What are your thoughts on somebody like Tank not fighting the top guys in the division? Like, I mean, and again, I know how it is with contracts and managers and promoters, and it's not always, I'm not saying he's scared. I'm just saying the fact that those fights aren't matriculating. Do you think that's something that should be criticized?
I'm going to use myself as an example, even though I fought everybody,
You sure did.
People were expecting me to move up to 54. I retired at 33, I believe, or 34, and people, you got so much more to do. There's so much left. I did everything that I wanted to do. So I was done. I had my goals. I think I hit all but one of the goals. Don't ask me what that goal was. And then that was it. After I hit my goals.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, and as it pertains to Tank Davis, as a fighter, as someone who did it, I know how hard it is to do. As someone who didn't always get his way, I know what it feels like to feel like you have to do things. And as someone who seamlessly figured out a way to get my way, I know what it feels like to, achieve that. So this is my stance with any fighter now, and you can ask the fighter that I'm working with right now. Shout out to Marcus Taylor down in Houston. I told Marcus, I work for you. What you tell me what you want, and I'm gonna do the best I can to make sure that you get it. Not only do I have the ability to train him, but I also have the ability to make connections and wheel and deal and make it happen. And I told him, I don't want to manage you. You have a manager. I don't want to manage you. But if I have the ability to make the phone call, I'm going to make the phone call. I work for you. Tell me what you want. That's how I look at Tank. Tank, what do you want? Boom, 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 boom. If it's done, you feel good, you feel great, they're going to say you didn't fight such and such, but they don't sleep with you at night.
Right.
They're going to say you didn't fight such and such, but they're not making you food at night. They're not at your dinner table. They're not with you having breakfast. They're not helping you go to school with your kids or anything. They don't matter. What matters is what you want. Once you've gotten everything that you want and you're done, boom, boom, we're done. As a someone who watches the sport and does the broadcasting and the analytical side of it, I would love an opportunity to be ringside calling a fight between Shakur Stevenson and Tank Davis. And I'll be the first one to say, Tank ain't scared to fight nobody. I do believe that the way his business has been orchestrated for him has given him a sense of entitlement and has made him feel a little spoiled. But he ain't afraid. He ain't scared. He's just trying to figure it out. And I hope the young man figures it out. And it's better he figure it out of the ring than when he gets in the ring and he's still got things going through his mind. Those are the things people don't care about or don't understand and don't realize. There's a lot of fighters that get in the ring and got all these question marks. And, we saw that from Jared Anderson.
Yeah.
In his last fight.
Well, he's another one. We talk about psychology, right? His mother's a therapist.
Yeah.
So he's been spoon-fed that kryptonite. You know what I'm saying?
But see, I talked to somebody and they said, I don't think his mom is ever really. But from us on the outside looking in, when we found out that mom is a psychologist, is all of a sudden, oh, he got that at home. Oh, he grew up with it and all this and that. That might not be the case.
Maybe. Yeah.
Maybe she turned it off because she didn't want to do it. Or maybe he turned it off because he didn't want her to do it, But here's what we do know. He's in a position right now where he needs it. And the person closest to him should be able to get that to him.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Right. But then it's like, will that act as a negative effect on his boxing career? Like it'll maybe straighten him out in life, but will it affect his boxing career?
People don't know this, but I have a life coaching certification.
Oh.
So when you're talking about the X's and O's of psychology, I can raise my hand. Okay. And when you're talking about the X's and O's of being an athlete, I can raise my hand.
Yep.
Because the life coaching certification I have is actually a sports life coaching certification where we use the language of sports to coach and give the therapy to the athletes and to the business people,
Mm-hmm.
So saying all that to say, I've been through the certification as a fighter, and I've also went through being coached in life because I was having some struggles that y'all never saw in the ring. I never saw those in the ring because I knew how to manage myself. So it's about maturity, and it's about getting the right people on your side, and a lot of people either don't know how to do that from a standpoint of who do I call, or they don't know how to do that from a standpoint of being humble enough and vulnerable enough to get the right help,
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess, and then people talk about the coaching switch up, which wasn't really a coaching switch up. They just switched, I guess, positions where Barry was head.
Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't seem like it would make much of a difference, in my opinion, in his performance, but maybe, what do you think?
I just love my position in all of this, and I've tried to articulate this on my podcast. And if anybody missed it, it's like, what do you want me to do, Coach? What's his name?
Calvin Kenny,
No, not Coach Barry. The his other coach, Coach Cal.
Calvin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
excuse me, Coach Cal. I've had one-on-one conversations with Coach Cal.
Hmm.
He's like, man, I grew up, man. Y'all, your dad, Coach Barry, y'all was my mentors. I grew up watching y'all. I grew up this and do that. When it comes to Coach Barry and Coach Cal, Coach Cal has already said, I learned from this man. So essentially, everything I'm teaching Tank Davis came from Coach Barry. If there's any sort of change, or we need a different voice, or if I become too loud for Tank, or Tank, I'm not getting through to Tank, Coach Cal did what Coach Kenny Porter did. Let me pull in somebody that I know my fighter trusts. Let me pull in somebody that knows my fighter knows him, and let's just make this thing go. And at the end of the day, they were able to get to the ring together, and they weren't going to the ring in no man's land. Everybody's grown up around one another and has known one another since Tank started this thing. So really wasn't a coaching change so much as it was, more than likely, it was, hey, Coach Barry, he ain't listening to me. So, what can you help out?
Yeah. No, that's
just Coach Barry,
right. No, that makes sense. That's what they were saying. All right, so switch gears a little bit. And I know this is premature, and I don't really even like the fact that Canelo's fighting Skull first, but we got the Canelo and Crawford fight, right?
That Skull fight,
that's what I'm saying.
Kind of concerns me.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, break it down. But 6 foot slick boxer. Ugh.
It's a difference between being an amateur and being a pro. The Cubans are the real deal, and we're seeing them become the real deal as pros. And we know that they have a history of being really, really good pros. I think professionally, the history is kind of a little bit more flipped, though. More of them don't make it than the ones that do. Listen, we saw this with Manny Pacquiao and your Dennis Ugas. Your Dennis had a Cuban punch that Manny Pacquiao had never seen a day in his life. And apparently neither did Freddie Roach, because they didn't know how to adjust to one punch the entire night. And it's an offhand punch that's thrown in a hooking motion, also in a straight motion, just like this. And the same way you see it come off your screen and come back to your sign, that's how it is in the ring, where it goes away for a second and then right there and it's on you. So I think that there could be some techniques that Skull might have that give Canelo Alvarez some true trouble. I don't know a lot about Skull, so I can't really say whether or not he can take a punch, if he can wear it on his shoulders and his arms and things like that, which we know Canelo is really good at doing. But then again, Canelo don't fight at that pace no more. No. Canelo don't really come to the ring trying to break a guy down by any means necessary nowadays. Right. It's the clean body shots and the clean head shots, and it's like pretty much that's just it nowadays, So people going with Canelo because they don't know the Skull name. I'm going with, this is going to be a really good fight, and it's going to be competitive, but I think Canelo's going to figure it out, and more than likely will end up breaking them down and getting them out of there. We'll see.
And then we get the Bud fight. So I was recently at this event with, shout out to my man Shaq. It was an interview. Canelo for the Ring magazine. Canelo and Bud were there being interviewed. Dana White was there. I guess they're promoting the whole TKO thing, right? And I chilled with Bud a little bit. I was thrown off by his size. And especially seeing Canelo and Bud right there, shaking both their hands, talking to him. Bud was clearly taller, but clearly a bigger guy in terms of his skeletal structure. He was just bigger. Now, obviously, you're nodding because you agree. I mean, because now what happens in this fight if the one perceived advantage across the globe is Canelo's a bigger guy, but he's not.
Which is why we saw Bud do a post. I think he was 184 in the post or something like that. 187 or something like that. and he's really just trying to let everybody know that's probably going to be his last warning to everybody. And that's the number one thing that fuels Bud's life. His life source is people doubting him.
Mm.
That's how he grew up. That's how he made his way through the amateur ranks. And essentially that's how he's made his way through the pro ranks. Everybody got on his side after he beat Errol. I think people really weren't even on his side after the fight he had with me. People sure as hell weren't on his side after he had beat Jose Benavidez and a couple of other guys, Kilbrook, a couple of other guys. Nobody was really on his side. It took him beating Errol Spence Jr. for people to get on the side.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have a fight with Madrimov, and it doesn't really go the way that everybody thinks it's going to go.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you don't know the Madrimov name. Boxing does this terrible thing where they promote one side, but they don't promote the other side. When you have, what's his name, William Skull?
Mm-hmm.
When you got William Skull getting in the ring with Canelo Alvarez, why are you promoting Canelo? We've seen Canelo for the last 15 years. Should probably be pumping this guy up, getting people to believe that he's going to win this fight. That's what Floyd Mayweather did so well.
Yeah.
Didn't matter who he was getting in the ring with. He made you think that that person was actually going to beat him. And it made you buy the fight.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't boxing learn anything? Why aren't you learning from Jake Paul how to actually promote a fight and broadcast that fight in the most simplest ways to make people get attracted to it?
Right.
But hey, I'm done educating everybody. But to that point, when you got a Bud Crawford who didn't really, I guess for the sake of us, perform the way we expected him to against Madrimov, I knew what it was. And, he and I, we've spoken. I knew what it was. I thought he won the fight, blah, 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 blah. But anyway, now you got people all the way back where they was before he fought, Errol Spence. Yeah. And now the thing is, well, how's he going to beat Canelo? He's smaller than him. And, he didn't look that good against the 54-pounder. How's he going to take a 68 punch? I'm going to be the last one to tell everybody this dude's been getting ready for Canelo Alvarez for about 3 years.
Damn.
Which is why it was hard for him to make 54, which is why it was hard for him to make 47 when he fought Errol Spence.
So he told you years ago that he was getting ready for Canelo?
No, I just know him.
Oh, okay.
I know him, and I'm smart enough to pick up on everything. My man's been packing on muscle. When it's hard for him to make 47, it's because he's got too much muscle. He can't break down the muscle.
Mm-hmm.
54, more muscle. So especially they wait until September to have this fight. Okay.
Mm.
That's in Bud's best interest to make this fight happen in September.
Unless, of course, Skull wins, which I'm not even sure that would jeopardize. I think they might fight anyway, even if Skull won. You remember with Zab, and Zab lost to Baldemir, and then he still fought Mayweather. Mayweather's like, fuck it, let's fight anyway.
Yeah.
So
and that's how it's supposed to be. It depends on how you lose. When you lose a close decision or something like that, come on, let's get it on. Your styles make fights. That style wasn't working for me tonight, but this style might.
So do you think Crawford's gonna win that fight with Canelo?
The more and more I live daily and I'm asked that question, or I happen to look at the fight, I feel like there's some things that Bud can do that will offset practically everything that Canelo can do. I truly do think what Canelo is it's his power. I don't think he uses his speed the way that he used to. He gets irresponsible defensively. I've analyzed Canelo. He fights too upright. He needs to bend his knees and he needs to, maintain that active position. He gets in an upright, inactive position. He it's nanoseconds, but he's got to drop down just to make his move. A younger, fresher Canelo was always there, ready to go. So I think there's small nuances that I see that to me make this, even though I still believe it's a 50-50 fight. If I did have $1 to bet, I would bet it on Bud. He's my one of my great friends, and I wouldn't be mad if he lost the fight and I didn't have $1 to my name anymore,
Right.
But with Canelo, I just it's a fight that's perfect timing for both these guys.
When you watch Bud fight, do you ever think back of a few things that maybe you could have done that would have benefited you, or do you just leave the fights in the past?
No.
Never?
I already know what it was with Bud. Bud didn't expect me to come out boxing the way that I did, and he made the adjustment, and I clearly saw him make the adjustment, and I did not rewire my mind to make my adjustment. My adjustment would have been being more aggressive towards him later on in the fight, and he started to be aggressive towards me, and I just continued to play the I'm gonna box, and that just really wasn't what needed to be done at that point in the fight. So,
You keep mauling them.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
mean,
But listen,
um,
man, how many times can a dog maul, and then he's like, I don't think I can do this anymore.
I mean, you were winning.
Yeah,
You were
yeah.
doing what you had to do. You know what I
You
mean?
have people say, you could have just moved around the rest of that fight and won. Well, two things. Number one, did the judges even perceive that I was winning this fight through boxing? Because again, psychologically, that's not what I'm known for.
Mhm.
These judges can come to the ring saying, "Oh, I don't know anything about Shawn and I don't know anything about Terrence." Y'all can say that all you want, but you know enough about me. You know enough about him. And I think I felt like I suffered that in my fight where you're Dennis Ugas. I think I won a split decision against Ugas,
Mhm.
and all I did was I boxed him. I outboxed him. You can go and look at the fight. I pretty much outpointed him every single round. But because I was doing something that you weren't used to seeing me do, in your mind, he's making me do it. I'm not doing it because it's what I feel is most beneficial to winning the fight. So from that
Didn't
standpoint, you don't know if I was actually winning on the cards,
Mhm.
but at the same time, I know that moving against Bud, it got to a point where that just wasn't the thing to do, and I continued to do it, and I suffered from it.
Mm. Didn't you tell me that, and I don't think there's video footage of this, or at least if there is, you didn't release it, but didn't you tell me that you beat Usyk in the amateurs by boxing?
Yeah, oh yeah. But I just had this conversation yesterday. 4 2-minute rounds. The speed was just different. I think even as an amateur, I caught a lot of people by surprise because I was only 5'7", and most guys were taller. They just thought that I was coming in on them already. I had that in and out motion, and it was like, okay, what do I do with this? So my whole thing as both the amateur and the pro was just different. And I think that I've gone into two Hall of Fames already. One last year, the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame. I'm going into the National Boxing Hall of Fame in a couple of weeks. And I think it's because when you get past who I fought, you get past my record, who I won, who I lost, all that kind of stuff. And you really just look at me as a fighter, you got to put your hands in your pocket and say, I don't think there'll ever be another fighter that fights like this guy. This
Mm.
guy just could do a lot of different things, and he was problems for everybody.
Mhm. Mhm.
So
Is there video footage of that fight?
I ain't been able to find it.
You strike me as the kind of dude who wouldn't release it anyway.
No. So it's funny you say that. And I haven't been able to make this. I have a move to make to try to get the footage. Okay, so let me disclaimer. I have a move to make to try to get the footage. Should I get that footage, the thing is to go to
Usyk.
Alexander
Yeah.
Usyk and do something big with it. We got to do something big with it. You don't just put that out there on YouTube. Like that goes on. HBO. We bring HBO After Dark back with that. you know.
That's dope. You only fought him once, right?
Yeah, just one time.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Really good boxing match. And this is my thing with that fight. And this is true. In the last round, I hit him with a right hand and he stumbled back. And when he stumbled back after that right hand, I mean, here comes the Shawn Porter that everybody knows. Like I just jumped on him, I was like 20, 20 seconds left in the round, 30 seconds left in the round, maybe. But I truly do believe that punch was the significant punch that ended up getting me the 1 or 2 points that I ended up winning the fight by, you know.
How old were you guys, or how old were you in this fight?
I think we're the same age. We would have been 20. I think we're the same age.
Yeah, those people who don't know, those people watching, Shawn did fight in the amateurs at 165, right, which is middleweight.
Yeah, 75 kilos. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Usyk, I don't know how the hell he made middleweight, but okay.
Yeah. No. See, I tell people all the time, when we boxed, he was thin. He was a skinny, slick southpaw. And you know, he really was slick. I gotta find the footage. I got to, because he was slick. At 165, he was slick. He was really good. I think he had this what do they call it? What do they call it? What did the white people had the
mullet?
Not a mullet. Yeah. I think he had a mullet. You know what I mean? Like he was a slick dude. You know, he was tall.
Yeah.
And he could box.
He's 6'3", right? He's a tall guy.
He was probably 6 foot at the time.
Oh, he was shorter.
Yeah, he was probably 6 foot at the time. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, you know, speaking of him,
I got to get going soon. So just a
couple
more. We can do this again. We can
do
this again.
For sure. Yeah. I appreciate the time.
Yes, sir.
Can anybody beat him?
No. I don't see Joseph Parker beating him. And I really like Joseph Parker. He's really made a nice comeback. What's the other kid out there in England?
In England, not Joshua.
No, not Joshua. The one that just knocked out Joshua. What the heck is his name? What's
Dubois.
Dubois. Yeah, Daniel Dubois. We saw how the first fight went. Outside of that body shot, that was a legit body shot.
Yes. Obviously.
But outside of that punch, he cannot box Alexander Usyk, you know?
And he quit? I mean, he quit? Did he not?
Kind of did.
You know, I'm not trying to shit on any fighters because I respect, you know.
It was low. It was a low blow.
Yeah, I don't know. But he kind of stopped, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So I guess he's going to be the king at heavyweight. I don't even know.
I don't remember when he was rolling around. Was he rolling around like grabbing his groin, or was he just rolling around? Yeah.
No, that motherfucker he was incapacitated. His hand was shaking. He was taking deep breaths. That was not an acting job. Yeah, literally, this is shaking. He's going like, I want to say at least 1 or 2 minutes.
But he was like already up at that point though, right?
No, sitting on his ass.
Yeah.
Incapacitated.
And he was like waving himself. I remember him was breathing a lot.
He was shaking it looked like he was catching a coronary.
Oh. So that was taken from Daniel.
Either he was acting,
yeah,
or he really got, but you know how it is with the fighter's mentality. If there's a ref counting in front of you, he might have grabbed his balls and got up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's why I tell people, not a knockout, definitely a knockdown.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you should watch that again. See the way he reacted. That shot was clean.
Yeah. I always say I'm going to watch fights back, and I never do.
Yeah, well, you're a busy man.
Yeah.
Well, look, man, I'll let you go. I appreciate you. Let's do it again.
Yo, you randomly hit me yesterday, so randomly hit me again, man. I appreciate this.
I will, man. I appreciate you.
Got it.
Peace.
On the next one, man.
All right, you too.
Thank you.
Peace. Showtime, Shawn Porter. All right, my man. Okay, people, how we doing? All right. How we doing, everybody? How we doing? Good dude. Smart fella, too. Thank you, sir. Benavidez canceled, unfortunately. That would have been in an hour, but he just canceled on me. So, thanks, Michael. Any excuses? What? Thank you. I see Turkey soon on Marco. Well, I'd rather Marco be on Turkey, but, whoa, that sounded, you know what I meant. Thanks, Jivon. Thank you, Daddy. Thank you, Weezy. Jay Gibson, appreciate you. I did miss your super chat. Sorry, Berto. Yours was the only one that was actually a question. Apologies. FIFA injury. I don't know what that means. That's your opinion. I gave mine. No need to be upset about. Okay, I don't know what's happening here, but Marco, you think Porter would come out? Nah, I mean, he just very clearly stated he has no interest in doing that. So I believe him. Turkey live today on X. So does he respond to people talking? But see, on X, I'm not even that big. Great interview. Showtime is commenting on my homie Undisputed Boxing stream tomorrow. Dope. Thanks, Moolah. Marco hop on his live today. On turkeys? He won't know who I am. Like, I'd rather do it where I'm like introduced. Like, yo, this is Marco, but you know what I mean? Through a reputable person. If I'm just jumping on like some jerk off, you might want to delete upcoming interview with. I didn't delete it. I just rescheduled it for next week because they said it's next week. If you look at the date, it's been changed. Shawn was one of my favorite fighters to watch when he was boxing. Super underrated. Hell of an entertaining fighter. Good interview. Appreciate you. Hey, man, I'm trying. I'm not sure. Just seeing him tweet that he's answering questions today on X. Well, see, that's not going to really put me in a perspective of like, oh, this dude should work with you. It's more like I'm a fan, like, hey, when are you going to start the league? You know what I'm saying? Hop on the live and start talking on it. Like, no. No, I'm not. You'll get hired. Yeah, I don't think so. No, I didn't get shit yet. Stop making assumptions about me and harassing me, please, Mo. What the hell's happening? Oh, and in case y'all forgot, Ohio runs boxing. Spoken by a true Ohio native towards another Ohio native. Got it. Hey, he hired cringe Showbiz. Well, if I had the amount of views Showbiz had, I wouldn't even need to be. Like, Showbiz doesn't even need to be hired financially at all. You know what I'm saying? So, which is catch 22, right? The dudes who don't need it, it's like the ones who are rich get free shit. It's a fact. This is the same thing. Like, the one who already has a following and makes a living doing what he's doing, he gets hired. The one who isn't making a following just yet or isn't making a living can't because he's not as well known. It's just the way the world works, I guess. Oh, you do? Good. Good, Alberto. Well, that's good to hear. Spoke like a true Jared Anderson fan. Damn, Mo, why you fucking with this casual fan? So many better boxing channels in showbiz. I mean, his channel isn't bad. It's just it is what it's a specific kind of flavor. You don't want the flavor, don't eat. You know what I'm saying? You don't want the flav, don't eat. I fuck with Jared because he's from Ohio, but he has some growth he needs to make. I was disappointed with him last showing. Yeah, I mean, both his last showings, really, right? Okay, well, you know, what's up, Guru? Is that Tank in a football uniform? Oh, that's him supposed to be Kaepernick taking a knee. Okay, I got it. Funny. Great interview, Marco. I see your mind is changing about the fight slowly. About Crawford and Bud. When I met him, it started shifting. Yeah, it is. I mean, I don't know if he's harassing you, but if he is, don't harass anybody. I wasn't really paying attention to the chat. Jamal, Jarmarl, Jarmarl. Do people just call you Jamal, or they go with Jarmarl? Do they pronounce the R's? Either way, Shobi makes a killing off his. I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, shit. He is cold chilling. And those are the people who get hired, which sucks for the people trying to come up, but I guess I got to just step my game up. Did you say Showbiz is MC Hammer? I never mentioned MC Hammer. I don't know what you're talking about, Bob. Yeah, Jared took the Bacoli fight way too early, but the money was too good to pass up. At least it was life-changing. Was it? How much money did he get? How much cake did he make? You can tell Porter would like to rematch Usyk in the pros at heavyweight. Dare to? Nah, he doesn't want to do that. What's up with Ness lately? He's been more bitchy. He didn't seem bitchy to me today. I did not notice that today. What? What did he do? Nope. They say Jamal. Yeah, one of my closest friends. One of my closest friends is Congressman Jamal Bowman. I mean, I think he finally lost his seat, but he was a congressman for whatever, 4 years, whatever it is. New York Congressman Jamal Bowman, but he is Jamal. Close friend of mine. We grew up together in NYC. Crawford is going to get beheaded versus Canelo. I don't know. Telling you, casual fan, when you see Bud in person, it's a different ballgame. The MTBV guys all be on one. Troy got at you crazy. We didn't. Crazy. I think we have different opinions on what crazy is. Sold out to make money. I don't think Showbiz sold out. I think it's who he is. Selling out is only if you're being being somebody you're not. You're a real one. I mean, he missed. It's only a pound and a half. I got Canelo willing to take small wagers. All right. And that's Mrs. CYP. Jared made almost 8 figures. And when I say my life changing, I mean changing for a guy in the hood, Toledo. 8 figures. Let's see. How much did he make? Jared Anderson pay versus Bacoli. What did he make? I mean, here it says that it was only 6 figures, not 8. It says 666,000. So I don't know where you got that from. Now this is AI. It could be wrong. And then Bacoli made 375,000. That's it. That's not that much money. If you could find a link or a page where it says that Anderson made more, please show me, because from what I'm looking at, he did not make that much. That seems actually low. What's up, Marcus? Troy seemed pretty tame. Yeah. Thank you, Joseph. Thank you, Star Lion. Star Lion. You think Berlanga's fight tomorrow going to be a war?
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
What's up? What's up? What's up? Big praise for Boots from Shawn. Yeah, we didn't talk about Boots, but we'll do it. I am from Philly. All right. Thank you, Bri. Bree. Bri or Bree? I said almost 7. I thought you said 8. Endorsements. He has endorsements? Troy don't watch boxing. He said Ramirez better. He said who Barboza beat. I mean, he watches. He just has his own opinion. Marco, I'm not mad at you. Don't know Troy Isley weight. That dude I did know his weight. That's just when people want to create content, stir up the pot, and try and just shit on people just to kind of create like drama. Somebody who started at one weight, and I mentioned the weight they started at, and they just moved up one weight class. That is not a crazy thing to not know. Anybody who's not trying to just irritate or stir the pot knows that. So, Jared Anderson got mental issues. Yeah. Well, a lot of people hype for Belanga's fight tomorrow. Who? Name one. Will Bud trying to jab Canelo keep him in the fight? I mean, that would help. We've never really seen Canelo get, you know, rocket fired with shotgun repeated jabs before. No, Marco. No what, Tip? Why are you saying no? Not me. You. Well, Tip, if you believe that, then you, my friend, are also part of the problem. Pettiness and stirring the pot is something you enjoy, and that's cool. That's just not the kind of vibe we're on here. I'm calling flash knockdown on Berlanga if he couldn't make weight. I mean, exactly. They just want to push the height. Yeah. I mean, that's silly. It is silly. I fuck with Berlanga. He's going to hurt Plant and Munguia bad if they ever fight. Nah, chill. Chill. You do not have contact info for Jimmy Lennon Jr.? No, I don't. I'm hyped. Berlanga's superstar. Gian, you fucking with me? Do you really believe that? Bud only uses reflexes for defense. He doesn't block punches well. That's true. His defense is, he does a lot of like a catcher's mitt, snatching him up this way, right? With against Canelo might be a problem, but Bud looks bigger, so maybe Canelo's shots won't be. But if you chose well as a fight, you wouldn't know. Are you still on that? Boy, this dude. Awesome interview. Thank you. Be humble. Appreciate you. Troy Isley, a part of Isley Brothers. Nah, I've known Troy, though. I've interviewed Troy back when he first turned pro. I actually know Troy. No, like personally, I have his phone number. I believe I have his phone number. I've known Troy. That's why I remember when he turned pro. And I remember, obviously, know what weight he was. Do I still have his number? Yep, I do. I do. Yeah, see? So yeah, I do have his number. I haven't talked to him in a minute, but fortunately his net worth is undisclosed, but I know a few people close to him say his lifestyle hasn't really changed from the Bacoli fight. I mean, he's a smart kid. He's probably going to invest, you know what I mean, smart and invest well. And I don't think Berlanga's he's not a superstar. Berlanga's going to be sitting on the shelf for a while if he's going to free agency, sorry to say. Starting with a KO tomorrow. All right. Berlanga's a bum. Oh boy. Eddie Hearn was a moderator in his presser. He's not a bum. Come on. Ask who for an interview? Jimmy Lennon? Oh, Berlanga. I don't have Berlanga's contact. I mean, you're right that's definitely tips a Ness minion talking that way, but I don't know about the rest of that stuff. I love Ness. That's my man. One more loss, Troy would have been 0-5, like Eddie with 5v5, shaking my head. Ask Isley for an interview. Yeah, I can. I will. Let's leave Tip alone. He wants to have his opinion to try and stir the pot and create drama. That's cool. But if you feed into it, then it gives it power. So let him have his opinion. I don't give a shit. Berlanga has to keep his momentum going. I don't like him not making weight and losing the belt. What belt? What belt does he have? I wish Clarissa was in here. She had the best line of all time. Best line of all time was Berlanga has the greatest loss in history. That's such a fucking, that should be a t-shirt. I wish she was in here, but she's not. Berlanga's a new Rosado. I dig the interviews, man. Thanks, man. I'm trying. Berlanga versus Rosado. Please explain why some guys stay in the amateurs so long. Oh, a lot of them, like in Cuba, they can't fucking leave. They literally don't let them leave. Josue, what up, blood? Wheeze, what up? As long as Jared stays away from vices and shady people, he will be fine. You got to get your head together. You know what I'm saying? You got to get your head together. If your head's not together in boxing, you can get hurt. You can even DIE. If your head's not in the sport, it's the only sport where you should not participate if your head's not in it. You know what I'm saying? I was in and out through the interview. Oh, all right. Clarissa only line is yeah. Well, not Clarissa Shields. Clarissa that comes in here, that one of our community members. You asked a question. Okay, let's see what you asked. Is that a no, bro? Okay, I'll go up further. Then you might have to ask it again because there's a lot of questions here. Do you have the contact info for Jim Landon? Yeah, I said no, I don't. I do not. Berlanga going to be fighting in empty TV studios like Alicia Baumgartner. Plant would smoke Berlanga. I believe so too. Plant can't handle Berlanga's power. I disagree with that. You guys still going on with this shit? Come on. Only Berlanga and Kambosos brag about losing. Kambosos brag about losing? No. Who'd Kambosos brag about losing to? Appreciate you. Robert. Appreciate you, my man. Thank you. I try. Word up. I'm pissed that Benavidez isn't on, but she told me, did she even respond to me when? Nah, she didn't tell me when, but sometime next week we'll have Benavidez. It was only going to be a 15-minute interview with Benavidez today anyway, which is short. Like, there's not much you could even get out. Berlanga, top 10 at best. Yeah, I'm with that. Berlanga needs to fight in New York. I think he would sell out there. Sell there. Maybe. Damn, didn't know Cuba wouldn't let boxers come. Yeah, you got to defect. They got to illegally leave the country. And then, but then that's scary because sometimes you leave, they fuck with your family that's still there. I said they did that shit in Bulgaria where my mom's like old school Soviet shit. Yeah, you defect, it could be a big problem. Your family can pay. What's up, Makai? Low chillin'. Munguia got KO'd by a guy with 4 KOs. Yeah, but up to that point, that was an unexpected turn of events. That's not like who he is. Tip is funny and entertaining. Just don't take everything he says personally. Exactly. I like Tip. I like Tip a lot. Tip's a good dude. I reckon Charlo is better than Macumbi. You reckon? Yeah, he is. You the man. You the man, Makai. You the man. Marco, you told Shawn to come on for 20 minutes and kept him an hour. See? There's the trolling. There's another troll. We're just going to point out your trolling every time you do it. And so it sinks in and you start changing the troll. We have to metamorphosize the troll out of you. So that's a troll right there. Shawn was having a good time. Well, yeah. I know Shawn personally. Like, when he says he has to go, he says he has to go. He's like that. He's not one of those guys that are like super like overly nice and will just do something because they feel uncomfortable to say, like, he's not like that. He'll say, I gotta go. Berlanga should just fight Jake Paul. He'd fuck Jake Paul up. Berlanga already Hall of Fame. Y'all must have seen that parade he had. Jivan, that was rush hour traffic in San Juan. That was old San Juan on Merengue Boulevard. Okay, that was racist. Sorry. Let me hit myself with it.
Oh, that's racist.
Let's just go with Main Street Boulevard. That was just a little traffic for rush hour. Who's the most overrated boxer today, in your humble opinion? I don't like saying that because then that's shitting on guys. So I'm not going to answer that. Is it okay if I'm racist with this chat? What's up, Joe? I don't know. I guess so. Let's see. Let's see how bad it gets. Bruh, I'm not trolling. I got your back. When you got somebody's back, you don't say shit. You don't shit on them. You know what I'm saying? Nah, leave Joe Pilot alone. Joe Pilot's good. Edgar missing weight, big deal, not a big deal. 1.5 pounds? It shows that he's clearly not really a 68-pounder. You know what I'm saying? It shows that. It shows that he's going to move up very soon, but nah, 1.5 pounds ain't shit. Inoue is overrated? Oh my goodness. Oh Lord. What is wrong with some of you people? Inoue's overrated. I can't believe this shit. That one, maybe, yes, Martinez. I'm with that one. Big concert just let out. It's not Berlanga's fault. Gloria Estefan was playing the San Juan Convention Center, and the concert let out. You just got, you know what I'm saying? Joe Pilot. Joe Pilot, man, I don't know if you follow me here, but please hit that subscribe button. Much appreciated. Edgar Undisciplined, newer B champ. Joe Pilot. KLK. You kids with these fucking acronyms. What's KLK stand for? Boots or Mason? Javon, Mason just turned pro. He can't be overrated yet. Boots? Nah, because what he did was spectacular. Maybe the competition wasn't great, and we'll find out if it was just a comp, but what he did was spectacular. Berlanga, big mofo. Yeah, he's big. I might throw some stingers at you, but I won't let anyone else get it off. That was gay. Dime Ave Manito. I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about. Yo, Marco, Inoue would mop the floor at Roy Jones. Well, we know you're trolling, but you did signal. That was the universal bat signal for.
I must have forgot.
Thank you. So proud of you. Well, thank you. Great interview. Appreciate you. You the man. I do follow you the man then. I've never seen you in my room before. That's all. Just saying. What the fuck does KLK mean? Somebody please tell the old white guy what that means. It's what's up in the Dominican slang. Oh, are you Dominican, Joe? You're from Boston? Yes, Joe Pilot's Boston. I confused Laugh Out Loud Pillow and you. Your voices kind of sound the same to me. That's right. You're Boston, Dominican Boston. I remember now. Que lo que is Dominican. That I know. Que lo que. Tu sabe? Lee Wood is the man to expose anyway. You heard it here first. Lee Wood sounds like a porn star. Gotta head out. I bet. Appreciate you. I'll be on tonight, 10 p.m. Come back. Tip. We're going to have to see each other one of these days. Yo, Tip. Mikhail wants to smash your toofs in. He told me. He wants to smash your toofs in. Mikhail can fight. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you guys throw on those gloves, Border Wars, do it up. I think you're about the same size. Plant would be a sharper at first, but Berlanga's youth impact. That'd actually be a good fight because Mikhail can fight. He's not like a novice. He's a novice in terms of how many fights he had, but he's not a novice. He's done a lot of tough man shit. He's done a lot of like under the lights boxing. So, but he's a novice to maybe under the USA boxing rules specifically, but the tough man rules are almost identical. Did you even have fucking headgear on in the tough man shit? No, you didn't. We're going over KLK with Mark already. Yeah, I got it. Oh, it's KLK. You guys are abbreviating it. I know KLK. I thought it was Kelo, L-O, K like E. I didn't know it was KLK. All right, I know I'm sounding mad white. Whatever. Fuck you guys. Mason, future superstar. I agree. Time lo que. Pillow almost. Damn.
Tutti frutti. It's fun to stay at the
Damn, pilot. Cabrera gonna be the test for Mason. Cabrera would be a test for anybody. Did Porter explain why Shakur is better than Floyd? He said that? See, that I would have asked. Is Porter on record saying Shakur is better than Floyd? He said he has good defense. I don't think he said. Has Porter even sparred Floyd? Momo Cabrera ain't shit. All right. Mason's a hype job. Please stop praising him. Armor Pilates, you are a USDA stamped A grade hater. Joe Pilot. I like Mason. We don't need every American fighter to run and score points. Mason stops Cabrera. Okay. Mason beats Williams Zapata today. Knocks him out. Pillow is weird. Okay. Have you checked out Jadier Herrera? Jadier? Did you misspell that? You meant to say Javier, maybe? I don't know who that is. Mason is not good. Carmel Moten. Nah, I think Mason. Carmel's good too, but I think Mason. I think Mason is more dangerous because he's a bigger kid. Carmel is barely making weight now, and he's not that tall. You know, we're gonna have like a Andre Berto situation where he's just too jacked, but he's short. Same thing with Broner. I feel like Broner it was hard for him to fuck with these way taller guys when he filled out to his natural weight. Mason stops Lucas Body. Lucas Body could punch. Cabrera ain't a real Mexican. His mom's Italian and he half white. What's wrong with being half white? What's wrong with being half white?
Oh, that's racist.
Honduras overrated. Nah, he's a Cuban fighter. He said better defense than Floyd. Maybe he didn't mean that literally. What do you guys think? You know, sometimes somebody will say something like, I got to hear the clip of that because I don't believe that. That's how it's spelled. Oh, okay. Not bad. Now we need to stop clowning fighters for getting dropped. That's how they start. Hey, man, getting dropped happens. Getting rocked, getting shook, getting dropped, it happens. Now, if it's happening way more than it should, that's a different story. Biden has a good chin, too. He's Canadian, right? He could fight. I felt bad what he did to Silv. Or Slive. Silv? Slive? Slive? I don't know how you pronounce it, but Ashton, H2O. I feel bad. Because I know one of Ashton's coaches. We came up together. Jesse White from the LBC. Fool. Mark-ass, trick-ass buster from the LBC, fool. Aye. Thank you. Devin, best current fighter. Gvon, come on. Stop that. H2O. What is this shit? Oh, this is him saying it? Let's see. I never even started my fucking goal. Dumbass. Never even started my goal. All right, let's listen to this. Thank you, Armor Pilates.
Seen a fighter with the kind of defense that Shakur Stevenson has. For me, that includes Floyd Mayweather. I feel like Floyd, I respected Floyd, but I felt like he was fighting guys that showed their punches before they came. I felt like he was fighting guys that were a step behind where they used to be. And I think that there's no secret of that. That's also coming from somebody that really, I got it honestly, like I started watching, I didn't really start paying attention to boxing until 2016, 2017. I didn't, I did it, but I didn't want to watch it. So,
and a lot of fighters are that way.
I'm just letting you guys know when I'm talking about somebody like Floyd, I didn't see Pretty Boy. I saw highlights of Pretty Boy, but I didn't sit down and watch Pretty Boy like I sit down and watch Tank and analyze these fights and things like that. When I watched Shakur fight, he was making defensive moves and then guys were throwing a punch. I've never seen a fighter with the kind.
All right, so I'm going to play this again, and I want you guys to hear that somebody sitting there couldn't contain themselves and were like, when he said that. Listen to it carefully.
of defense that Shakur Stevenson has. For me, that includes Floyd Mayweather. I feel like
Did you guys hear that? Somebody went. Unless it was just random, like somebody cleared their throat. It looked like somebody there was disagreeing with him. Did you guys hear that? He goes, for me, that includes Floyd Mayweather. It's like, you guys heard that? It's easy to have a good defense when you don't engage. Yeah, I got to talk to Shawn about that. I want to hear. I'm going to listen to him. Hey, man, he has way more experience than me in the ring. Maybe he has something to tell me I can learn from. I don't agree with that, but let's see. Also, I've not been in there with, which should see, here's a problem with that statement. Why we can't disclaim it, because Shakur hasn't shown us what he does on the biggest level yet. So if he goes in there at the biggest level and starts getting mopped, even Shawn will probably be like, okay. But then again, Shawn was in there with him. So he's taken his, but let's see. We have to wait to see what Shakur has in the tank. We have to see what he does on the big stage against the biggest names before we could start even saying if he has all-time great defense. You guys know I'm big on that. I don't put people in all-time categories when they're still active. We need to have the full set of analytical data of their careers. Would Santillan be a good match for Mason? Yeah. Heard it. It was Joe laughing. That was for somebody's like, what do you think about Crawford's busted gloves? I didn't see, and I've heard of inklings of this, but I don't really put a lot of energy into like conspiracy shit. But if you want to show me a picture or something, I'll look at it now. Greatest chin in boxing? I would have to say Marvin Hagler, the marvelous one. Why him? Because he was hit by some of the hardest punchers in history. And fast punchers. So there's two shots that will drop you. The ones that are just blunt force trauma, cinder blocks. Then the ones that are shot from like a baseball pitching machine, right? That are just quick and snappy that you don't see. Sugar Ray Leonard had those. Didn't even make Marvin blink. Tommy Hearns and John the Beast Mugabe had possibly the hardest punches in history. And Marvin swallowed those bombs like Yoshi on Super Mario. Now, you can argue other people. Band up. What up, blood? You can argue Mike Tyson had a tremendous chin. He did get knocked out, but Hagler also never got beaten down for 10 full rounds the way Buster Douglas beat him down or the way Lennox beat him down. Tyson would just get hit way more in his losses. Hagler never took repeated ass whoopings, but he got, he also, this is a fun fact, I don't know if you guys know this was confirmed to me by Hagler's son, James Hagler. I'll show you guys. Just I gotta put proof behind this. It makes it. There it is. There it is. James Hagler. It is confirmed that Marvin Hagler had an extra thick layer of soft tissue around his head. People might not know this, but all of us have soft tissue, which is essentially thin muscle around our head. That's why when you get a massage here, it feels so good. Or sometimes you fall asleep on your hand and then it hurts. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can get little knots in your head. Hagler's soft tissue, he was born with naturally thicker. So basically 2 or 3 times the thickness. So it was like he was wearing a mini helmet, a natural. He had a Teflon dripped dome piece given to him by God. So they say that's some of the reason why he didn't get knocked out so easily, on top of everything else. But again, that wouldn't do anything for the chin. That would absorb blows to the head everywhere except, I guess, here and here, which most of the punches are in this range, I would say, right? Most of them are within the face range. But whatever landed here, they say that was part of why Hagler had such an absorbent, monstrous chin. Marco Phone got more connections than Ness. That's a fact. That's a fact. Don't make me pull out Shaq's number. I know. I'm flexing on Shaq. Fuck you guys. As an old man, he was taking bombs and didn't go down. Who? George Foreman. Good point. Jersey Bob. But did he get with the equivalent? Did he get hit with dudes who punched as the with the equivalency of a Tommy Hearns or a Mugabe or a speed of Sugar Ray Leonard, who had behind Roy Jones probably the fastest hands in history is Sugar Ray Leonard, number 2. Putin, not chill. I'm Ukrainian and Bulgarian, man. I'm Bulgarian. I ain't no damn Russian. Hagler made switch hitting popular. First man to do it. Or maybe not the first, but wow, I didn't know his gloves busted a third time. Crawford may beat Canelo with his special gloves. Do you contact managers or the boxer? Boxers. Well, I mean, there's a couple people I don't have in the boxer number. It's just the manager, but it's usually the fighters themselves. Hagler had to wear caps under his headgear to keep from chafing his temples. Do you think that has to do with his like extra thick like head? I don't think you allowed links to be posted in your chat. I try posting. Yeah, you have to be you have to have a wrench to do it. I don't mind if links are posted. Is there a way I could turn that on? I don't give a shit. Or maybe I shouldn't, because then people come in here posting like bullshit, right? You get spammed. I'm not saying you would do it, but like bots or whatever. Better fight Foreman, Holyfield, Pryor, or Arguello, my opinion. Foreman, Holyfield kind of bored me. It was like, oh, you're beating up this old guy who is also bashing your face in. I wasn't into the whole Foreman, Holyfield thing. We don't talk about Rocky Marciano enough. All right, Lewis, you got it. You got it. You hit the trigger.
Every time I start talking about boxing, a white man got to pull Rocky Marciano out there.
But at this point, it wasn't a white man. You're definitely Hispanic. So a Hispanic man had to pull Rocky Marciano out their ass. Now, I understand if you don't allow links, too much spam. I didn't do it on purpose, but what's this? Armor Pilates. What are you putting in here? What are you putting in here, you devious bastard? What? All right, I'm gonna play this. I gotta turn the fucking volume down. Hey, Leo, how do I turn this volume down? Shit is so loud. All right, I'm gonna play this. This is what he said. I don't see anything here at all. But let's see. So this is supposed to be. What the fuck are we looking at? There was nothing there. What the fuck? I don't get that at all. Is Mike Tyson disrespected in terms of legacy? No, he's overrated in the terms of legacy, in my opinion. Spanish. I know. Luis Ortiz, I could tell. And you look Hispanic. I got you. You're from Spain, you're saying? Or you're Hispanic? I don't know what you're trying to say there. How great was either way? I don't think you'd be considered a white man, or unless you consider yourself a white man, no disrespect. I don't know. How great was Joe Louis? The greatest heavyweight who ever lived. Second greatest fighter who ever lived. Does that tell you? No, third. Excuse me. Third greatest fighter who ever lived. Best heavyweight. Era for era, of course. Tyson ducked Foreman. Tyson was in prison, Richie Rich. So you can't really duck somebody when you're behind bars. There was nothing wrong with those gloves. 6? What? Bud had the same egg weights in his glove Fury used to beat. Get out of here. On black. Oh, Mo. Mo, that was diabolical. Can't believe I just used that word, diabolical. What the hell was that? I don't know, Dwayne. I'm confused. Tyson, most memorable fighter behind Ali. He is. But that's why I say he's overrated, Gion. Prime Mike Tyson, possibly the best skills I've ever, like behind Roy, prime Mike Tyson might have been the best skilled fighter I've ever seen. But his prime only lasted 4 years. You know what I'm saying? That Spence fight. Yeah, his gloves look fine. This Crawford, yeah, it's goofy. Busted glove pick are all over the internet. I'm surprised because I don't pay attention to bullshit. Like I just looked at that picture, casual, and it looked like there was nothing there at all. Looked like normal gloves. Do we want Shakur versus Tank? Yeah, we've been wanting that. That was musty. Oh shit! The man, the myth, the legend, Jerry Soriano. Que lo que? ¿Tú sabes? Marco, please ask David. Unfortunately, that interview was canceled and rescheduled for next week. I just did the Shawn Porter one though, Jerry, and you missed it. But you could rewind because it was on this live. If he's currently injured and if he's actually negotiating a Bivol fight, I actually did that, and I'll show you right now. This was to David's manager, and I said, is there a Bivol fight? He said, yes, Samson sent the offer, but that's the latest. So that's all we know about that. Appreciate the extra crispy 5-piece, Mr. Soriano. Foreman called him out on the first comeback. Look it up, Marco. Okay. So then Foreman, I think, lost, right? Didn't he lose within that? And it was like, yeah, why fight him at this point? I bet you if Foreman had the belt, Tyson would have fought him. Tyson wasn't scared of fighting anybody. That's silly. Lennox is underrated. Lennox is top 5 greatest heavyweight of all time. What's up? El Moreno. Am I allowed to say that as a white man? Is that okay? All right. Just in case, let me protect myself.
Oh, that's racist.
Sorry. Mike always fought the next ranked up, so it was some say his resume isn't super solid. Well, Jivan, he lost to every superstar fighter he ever fought except 1. 2 if you count in old Holmes. 1 in prime superstar he only beat, which was Michael Spinks. And some might say Michael Spinks was done because he retired after that fight, but he was in his early 30s, which back then was old. Everybody else he fought, he lost to. Lennox, Evander. I mean, what other superstars did Mike fight? And he lost twice to Evander. Now, he fought Lennox too old, but Tyson wasn't even that old. Was he like 36? Wasn't even that bad. Tyson was the knockout king of the era. Word. Lennox was a beast. That's a fact. Tyson never fought Bo. Yeah, but that's not Tyson's fault. Because Tyson went to prison, and then by that point, like a lot of whooped Bo's ass, and Bo was pretty much done. Bo had his like mental thing. He tried to go into the army. That was a prison thing. When Tyson was before prison, Bo was still on the come up, and then when Bo was a champion and popping off, Tyson was in prison. So Moreno means dark skin. I thought it's the word for black. Like that's what they call morenos. That's like growing up in New York City. That's what like they'll call Hispanic dudes will call black dudes morenos. You remember a big pun? Boricua, Moreno, Dominicano, Colombiano. If you're not going to hear me out, then listen to Avazivizian interview. Okay. Marco, stop harassing him. Huh? That's what happens when you don't duck, but I blame his downfall on drugs, alcohol, and not Cuss. Leaving Cuss, absolutely. Well, leaving Kevin, who was my trainer. You have a favorite Porter fight? No, not a specific. Well, I mean, what he did to Paulie was just merciless. Ali, Tyson, Purnell all should have been greater, but life happened. What? Wait, what? What you mean? Ali, Purnell arguably never lost in his prime. How is his career not perfect? I mean, he got robbed a couple times, but arguably the only person that really beat Purnell was Tito Trinidad, and that was when Purnell was like 38 or whatever, like done. Mike peaked early, never exactly, Jerry. Prime was from 85 to 89, really. I did a video on it. That his last fight with Frank Bruno capped his prime. That was it. Prime was done. Moreno. I love Bud. Well, good for you. Like the weed or the fighter? Tyson and Berlanga are the only two fighters to bite their opponent's ear. Not true. Oh, the ear. No, he didn't bite his ear. No, you're wrong. 3. Andrew Galata, Bit Samson, Pooh, I believe. Andrew Galata, Berlanga, and Tyson are the 3 to bite. Galata did that shit before he did the low blows. Like, he already had that locked and loaded in him. Were you talking to Shawn Porter? Bald liar. Talking to me? First of all, you rewind it, you'll see Shawn's in here. But secondly, if you're being disrespectful, the wrenches can take care of you. Or if you're joking, I can't tell. So we'll give you one chance. You never know with these fucking people sometimes. My latest favorite boxer is Porter's dope. Purnell was like Shakur. Yeah, Purnell was dope. Purnell didn't have power, but he was still super exciting. Yeah, he stopped. He would go in one punch at a time, not moving his head. Ali and Tyson jail. Purnell drugs. Purnell, it never affected his career, though. So I disagree with that. Whatever he did didn't affect his career. If you hit the rewind button, sir, you will see him in here. You came late. You missed it. He was here, though. After the Douglas fight, Tyson never really came back from that. It was different. I'm telling you, Albert. All right. I'll play this before because I got to go get my daughter, but I'm going to play this for you. This was when Tyson really, this is when Mike Tyson's prime ended. This is the first, he wins this fight, but this was clear signs of his downfall. He was able to beat Bruno here, but watch the video.
The night Mike Tyson's prime ended, 1989. Mike Tyson swarms Frank Bruno like a pack of killer bees, dropping him. But Bruno instantly bounces back like an AOL address, rocking the charging Brownsville native. Mike just left Kevin Rooney and is barely using the peekaboo style, only throwing one punch at a time with little head movement. Frank takes advantage of this by tying Mike up like a brand new pair of Jordans, while whacking Tyson on the inside like he's punishing a toddler. The 6'3" Brit then calculates distance better than Pythagoras, stunning Mike with a counter that has him looking like someone pulled the carpet out from under him. Bruno continues staying out of range while tattooing the side of Tyson's face like he's competing on Ink Master. Bruno proceeds tagging Mike up like he works at Target while spinning Mike around like they're on Dancing with the Stars, and also landing stunners that stop Mike dead in his tracks like he's a crossing guard. Mike then gets into his groove like Madonna, finally putting together combinations that rock the gassed out Brit. But Frank still sporadically finds the perfect homes for his left hooks like he's a broker at Corcoran. However, Bruno's grenades can't put a dent in Tyson's titanium chin. Mike then pins Frank to the ropes and lands his patented right to the body and uppercut. This lays the blueprint for what Buster Douglas does only 2 fights later.
And there it is. That, my friends, was the first fight where Mike Tyson, where we saw clearly he was done. No Kevin Rooney, no head movement. That was it. And if you look, he had one fight after this where he knocked out Henry Tillman with one punch in the first round, and then Douglas came in. And Douglas did what Bruno did. Douglas was just way more athletic. But saw that in the beginning how Bruno was keeping that range and popping him. But Buster did all that, and Buster wasn't scared on the inside. Bruno would hold him and get all nervous and hit him. Buster stayed on the inside and fed him a steady diet of knuckle sandwiches. So, all right, people, I got to bounce. I will catch you guys tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern. Appreciate you guys. Another real quick, those of you who have not already done this, please DM Turkey Al Sheik's Instagram and the Ring Magazine verified Instagram. Please do it. And please just, for support, send them one sentence. Hey, we fuck with this guy, Marco Boxing. We think he'd be great to work with the Ring Magazine. Trying to build this grassroots campaign to get my ass on there. Besides, I'm being hooked up with him through some people, but I want him to see that there's a following. Yeah, that means more to me than even hitting the thumbs up here. But if you could do both, I appreciate you guys. And I'll catch you guys 10 p.m. tonight. Peace.